Today, I decided that I wanted to basically cut up some of my paintings and some of my artwork just because I was getting kind of bored of it, just taking up space. I don't know, I just wasn't fully satisfied with it. And I have an idea in my head that is like, I think it's fully fleshed out in my head, but I'm still not sure how I want to. Well, then it's not fully fleshed out. But I have an idea and a general idea, and I think I know what it's gonna look like in the end, what my paintings are gonna look like in the end, but I'm not sure. I have 3 paintings that I decided that I wanted to kind of reimagine. I say cut up because I mean I am technically cutting them up, but it's more so repurposing them into another artwork. I've been thinking about maybe repurposing them together, weaving them together, or I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I know I want to like basically create little shred. I don't know. I'm gonna just stop and you're just gonna watch me do something with my art. Destroy, cut up, reimagine, whatever, rework, whatever you want to call it. The artwork won't look the same way that it does now, hopefully. Fingers crossed also that I actually finish this project, because I'm pretty notorious for starting projects and not finishing them. But we're gonna finish this one and you gonna watch. At this point, I thought that using scissors and just like a regular office staple remover would get rid of the staples in the canvas, but that didn't work at all. So I started using an X-Acto knife and going around the staples on all sides to, I guess, cut around the staples and lift the canvas from the stretcher bars that way. That also didn't work. So I just started cutting along the sides, or basically scoring along the sides of the canvas with the X-Acto knife, and then using the scissors at the corners because the canvas was much thicker at that point, and peel the canvas off that way. It wasn't the ideal way I had initially or idealized doing it, but in the end it still worked, and I was able to get the full canvas, or most of the canvas, off of the stretcher bars. She gone. She gone. I repeated this process with my next painting. From these 4 corners that they call a canvas, a stretch canvas. Yay. She almost free. Oh, come on, girl. Come on, girl. I was cutting the wood. She gone. She gone. She is free. And for the final painting, which was the largest painting, I believe, I wanted to cut the figures themselves out and kind of preserve those, because I really like the way those look, just not in that painting. This is the aftermath of all of my cutting. For this painting, I just cut out the 2 figures. So like here's one, and then this is the other figure. So I actually cut those out, and I have the remaining canvas somewhere. But then for this piece and this piece, I pretty much kept those fully intact. So Yeah, I have an idea. I think I'm going to cut them into strips and then end up weaving different pieces back together. But not 100% sure yet, but that's what I'm feeling right now. And then like I said before, I do have like the leftover parts from this painting. Let me see if I can find it. This is what's left over from that painting. It's basically what was the sky, the sun, and part of the grass, and you can see the outline of where the figures themselves were. So for this, I have two ideas in mind. I'm either gonna just cut it into strips as well, or I was gonna make something out of it, like either a shirt, maybe, or like a handbag or something. But that's in the future, potentially, maybe. I don't know. Okay, whatever. So I have these pieces. I'm gonna cut up some strips into this one and into this one and see what happens next. I started cutting strips from the smallest painting and began weaving them together. So this is what everything looks like, all weaved together. And not sure if I'm gonna leave the ends as is or if I'm gonna trim it. I don't know. It's actually the next day and I don't feel very well. At this point I began rambling, but basically I'm saying that I needed to frame the drawing that I was doing earlier so that I could drop it off at a gallery. One thing I wanted to mention was I recently found these needles, but I knew I ordered some because I wanted to sew together heavier duty fabrics and my regular sewing needles wouldn't work for that. And so I ordered these, completely forgot about them, and as I was cleaning up, I found them. I'm so happy that I actually found these, and I can't wait to use them. I think I'm actually gonna jump back into working on, ooh, my toes. I'm going to jump back into working on this. I'm going to jump back into working on this one as well. So now I am cutting strips out of the bigger painting that I kept intact. And instead of weaving these together, I decided to sew them together. It was more of a challenge than I thought. But I was really enjoying the way it was looking. And I think it's going to go really well with the final product I have in mind. Today's a new day. I feel a lot better and my hair is different. I'm also going to drop off some artwork at Hardy and Ant Studios for a holiday art market that I think I had previously talked about. So I'm going to drop off those two pieces. These are the two pieces I'm dropping off. This one is a graphite drawing on, I think it's a watercolor board or maybe a drawing board, but it's graphite, and then this one's more like shadow, more like a mixed media type of deal. They're both less than $100 for this show. Today I didn't really do much. I still wasn't feeling well, but I was feeling much better, and I don't know what I was trying to say. I wasn't feeling that well. I didn't really do anything art related until right now. I'm about to go drop this stuff off. But I did finish, or I'm not finished. I sewed a few panels of my painting together. You can see here. And I'm just gonna continue this process with the figure that had the orange hair, and then with the other two, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but it's going good so far. It really hurts my thumbs just because this fabric is kind of thick and tough to poke through, even with the bigger needles. Those bigger needles aren't as sharp as I would like, but they're better than using the little tiny needles to poke through, so I'm just keep using it. I like the way it looks so far. I can't wait until like I finish one entire face and see kind of how it looks and show y'all what's up.
Cut me off a little tail.
No.
What?